Hi everyone out there, this is Colin representing the Computer Repair King, and this is your tech tip of the day. Enjoy. Today's tech tip, we're going to be talking about how to go ahead and back up any projects that you're working on. This is a simple and easy way to make sure that the project that you're creating is going to be saved no matter what. And it doesn't have to be Word, this can also be PowerPoint, Excel, Dreamweaver, whatever you're working on, as long as it has the ability to save and save as. And you'll see that. We're going to go to File, and you see Save and Save As. Now these are two different tools. The first one, Save, the first time you use it, it asks you to go ahead and name it. Save As asks you to go ahead and name it all the time, and you'll see how both of those are being used. Under here in Options, this is specific to Microsoft. It has the availability to do an auto recover every 10 minutes. What that means is that every 10 minutes Microsoft is able to go ahead and save your document in a location on your computer. Now this is a temporary location, so when we see it we're probably not going to see anything saved because I haven't done anything for a while on Word and it's not going to have the auto recover. But if you're working on it for several hours, then you do have that as a backup. Now you should not rely on this because a lot of times when it backs it up, it can be corrupted when you try to go back in and save it. Right now what we're doing is we're going to go in and we're going to go to the folder location where it's supposed to save at. And again, like I said, it's empty. That's because there hasn't been anything in there. And this is under your temporary data, app data, roaming, Microsoft Word is where it's saving. It may be different for you depending on which Office that you're using. I'm using Microsoft Office 2010, and that's the default for it. Now we're going back in, and this is the way that we can go ahead and make the copy ourselves. Create the content, and we go to File, and then Save, and we call it whatever we want to call it. In this case, we're going to call it Test. Now once we've called it Test, we then have that content saved. Well, the way we back it up is we actually go ahead and edit the content, or excuse me, we're going to resave it, but save it under a different name. This can be under Working, or it can be under Test 2, or whatever you want to call it, as long as it's something different than the original file. By creating two saves, you guarantee that one is the original and one is the work in progress. So for this demonstration, we're going to call it Test 2. And then we're going to go into the folder, and you'll see both of them here in a second. Right now what I'm doing is I'm creating different content in Test 2. This is a test to see which stays the same. Alright. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and save it as Test 2. And I just hit Save. That automatically saves it as whatever you had it saved as before. Save As gives you the option to change what you want to save it as. Okay, so there's our original document, which is test.docx, and it says test, test, test. But the second one doesn't. Even though we saved it, when we changed it and we saved it again, it went ahead and flipped it over. Now again, if you're working on it long enough, it will show up in the auto recovery if it's set up that way. If not, then what you have to do is you have to right click on the folder and actually tell it to restore with previous versions, and you'll see different ones from that week. Now this is empty because again I haven't been on Microsoft Word in quite some time. I don't work on it all the time, but if you're somebody that does work on Word and you have piece of content that disappeared on you, that is one way that you can go ahead and get it back. Alright, and this is Colin with your tech tip of the day. I hope it's been helpful. Don't forget to check us out on our website, thecomputerrepairking.com. You can also look at us on Facebook /Computer Repair King fans, and we're on Twitter @PC Repair King. And remember, when you choose the Computer Repair King, we treat you like royalty.